Welcome to episode 6 of the Red and White Podcast, and welcome to a bubble-free edition of the NCAA tournament. I don't even know what that means.
Bubble-free? It's fantastic.
I'm confused. I don't know where I'm supposed to go from here. It's fantastic, like you said.
Bubble-free is for me.
Hey, that's it. We can market that. That's a gold mine. So, it was funny. I was cooking when the show was on, the selection show, and then bam, we're in Nova's bracket, and we got LSU first game.
I like to point out that you called this, maybe 2 weeks ago? You're like, I want to be in Nova's bracket if they get the 1 seed. Well, there you go.
Yeah, so if it fails, then it's on me. But I really thought then, and I think now, that this is looking with us being an 8 or 9, this is the way to get us to a Sweet 16 and however farther you want to go after that. But I really don't think Villanova's worthy of a 1, so we got that.
I mean, of all the 8-9 games and then the game after it, I kind of like ours the best. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm looking, let's see, 8-9 in the Midwest. We got Cincy and Purdue. Cincy, I remember going to that game already.
Yeah.
Purdue beat us as well, didn't they? Wasn't that our Big Ten game?
They did, actually, yeah.
Yeah, so those are 2 losses. And then Oregon, Oklahoma State, and San Diego State, St. John's. I'll take a middle-of-the-road SEC team all day long.
Absolutely.
LSU's not basketball. Les isn't on the side, I'm stoked. I mean, I can't imagine a better draw. I really can't.
I think Ralston Turner might have something to say about this game.
Ooh, yeah, that's a nice little tidbit there.
I don't know. Like, I was just reading it, like the interview. People have already started asking him, and he's saying all the right things. Like, I don't know any of those guys, and it's just another game, whatever. You got to know deep inside, he's all right. I'm gonna just drill these fools.
Oh, he's foaming at the mouth. There's no way he's not.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know. I think the early line was like 1.5 or something like that.
Yeah, 1.5. I saw. Bovada has it at 2, but whatever. 2.5 point there.
See, I'm not one to bet on us, but I think I would take us to cover.
I'm not going to bet on us. I never do.
Well, I'm not going to, but if I were a betting man on state games.
I feel pretty good. Everybody points out, well, LSU's got good balance. LSU's played Kentucky tough and whatever, but I don't know. I like the SEC's kind of garbage, so I'll kind of give us a little bit of a advantage there.
LSU lost to Auburn twice.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oof.
So, I mean, they've got, 10 losses? 2 of those losses are Auburn. I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. I mean, there's a chance I'm wrong, but I would swear by that.
I know they played, their schedule was the 97th toughest, as opposed to ours was 5th. They've only played 5 top 5 games. We've played 12. They beat West Virginia, who's the common opponent, but I don't know how much that means there.
We were a different team when we played West Virginia than we are now.
That's a good point. And it was that no fouls called half football game that they played.
Yeah. Do you know where the game with West Virginia was?
Wasn't that New York or some weird like that? Yeah, it was New York.
No, I mean with LSU.
Oh,
So I was trying to figure out if it was a neutral thing too, or...
No, I think they played them at home.
Oh, well then, yeah. I'll take a neutral loss versus, yeah.
Oh, no, they beat them by 1 on the road December 4th.
They beat them there.
Yeah.
But early December, though, too, so...
Yep.
Whatever. You can't tell me anything.
LSU also lost to Clemson, so...
Well, so did we, so I guess we're the same team, but...
It's true. We won at Clemson, though. I'll give us that.
Yeah. You can tear them down however you want, I can't see a better draw, really, if we're going to be an 8 or a 9. It's that simple.
Yeah, I think it's a good matchup, but I'm happy with it. I think, Pac's got a real chance of beating them, so I think it went pretty well for us.
Yeah. So you got us beating LSU.
Yeah, I think we'll win that game.
What do you think second round against Lafayette? The first ever 16 win.
That would be just fantastic, to be honest.
Anyway, do we want to get into how far state goes now, or save that for later?
No, go ahead. Just go.
Yeah, I look at it. LSU, I think, is a win. We got Villanova second round. Like you said a couple of weeks ago, I was asking for it. That's the one I think we can get. I think we get to the Sweet 16.
I'm with you. I absolutely think we can get to the Sweet 16. It was interesting hearing Clark Kellogg just completely write us off and say LSU is going to beat Nova. Not even mention our game. But then Doug Gottfried says Gottlieb put us in the Elite Eight. So
see, I thought he said Sweet 16.
I think he modified that
Did
one
he?
and said the Elite Eight. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because that's where I have us too. I think we beat LSU. We beat Nova. Northern Iowa or Louisville, I'm not sure which one we'll have. I can't see Louisville. They're just not playing well at all.
See, everybody's on Northern Iowa, and then, I've seen some Wyoming projections, which I don't think they'll win. I mean, Northern Iowa's got to be pretty good. They went 30-3. So I think Northern Iowa plays Louisville. I think we can beat either one of those teams. I'm sure Northern Iowa will probably give us a harder time because we're a little bit more familiar with Louisville.
Yeah, I think so. Either one, like you said, I really don't know. I can't act like I know anything about Northern Iowa. I don't.
Yeah.
But them or Louisville, if Northern Iowa was as good as their record at all, then I think it's them. I can't see Louisville's just fading. I mean, they're not playing well. They're really not.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Stayed over the 5 or the 4, but then all roads lead to Virginia and the 2.
If Virginia gets there, and by all accounts they will, we can beat Virginia. I'm not completely sold on that. I think we played them pretty tough for a little while in Charlottesville, but a lot of projections I've seen have Oklahoma beating Virginia.
What about the second round there with Michigan State and Virginia? I'm not convinced Virginia gets through there.
I think Michigan State's garbage. They played Wisconsin tough, and then I guess Tom Izzo always somehow seems to get his teams to the Final Four and then lose. But I don't think they have it this year. I don't think they have it in them. Yeah,
I mean Virginia should win, but there again, I don't know. I've always loved Izzo. I think he's a hell of a coach. It could be interesting, but anyway, my prediction is Elite Eight. That seems like a homer pick, but this is the draw I wanted, man. Like I can't. This is it. Where do we go in your eyes?
Yeah, I think Sweet 16 is a real possibility, and then I'd say 50-50 we get to the Elite Eight. If we get past the Elite Eight, there's no telling because the matchups could be anybody. I don't think anybody in this bracket's that much better than anybody else. I mean, Virginia, I think, is probably the best team in this bracket, and I think we can run with them given the right situation, given the guys playing well or whatever.
So we got Elite Eight for me and Sweet 16 for you. Possible farther. Which means we're going to lose to Villanova in the second round, but
probably means we're going to lose to LSU
in
the first round.
So, Final Four. Who wins the East Regional?
East Region. I'm going to say Virginia.
Yeah, I think that's. I want to say that we could potentially beat them down the road, and that's possible, but I don't know. And I've doubted them all year. They didn't really give me any reason to change my opinion in the ACC tournament, but looking at the draw, I think it's theirs to win, really.
I think they're a 1 seed if they get to the ACC finals. They just shot so bad against Carolina. I mean, it was unbelievably bad.
I agree.
That's an abnormality for them.
Yeah, and the thing is, one of the first times you saw them get rattled in that game, and they just didn't respond well at all. And I think that ended up being the difference. But let's look at the the Midwest. So you got Kentucky as the number one overall. What do you see in there that's interesting?
So people were dogging this bracket, and I think Kentucky, who's clearly the overall number one seed, it's got a pretty damn hard bracket. I'd say between the Midwest and the West are the two hardest brackets.
Yeah, see, shouldn't Kentucky have had the easier road?
You would think.
I mean,
But I mean, people are already throwing West Virginia. I think West Virginia's style of play is going to annoy the crap out of Kentucky.
see, I'm not convinced that Maryland's not there instead of West Virginia.
Yeah, that's true. Not a big fan of picking the Terps, but I can see that. I could see Maryland giving Kentucky a hard time.
That 4-5 game is going to be a hell of a game, though. That West Virginia-Maryland game.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a real good one.
They hate each other already, and then throw them in there.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. Something else, too, that I'm looking at, like, potential second round, Kentucky and Cincinnati might not be a cakewalk for Kentucky.
Yeah, Cincinnati's kind of up and down. I just don't think they have the horses to run with Kentucky.
I'm just interested to see how those young guns or whatever deal with that basically foul you every time you touch the ball type of defense that Cincinnati plays. Going on down, you look at the 3 in Notre Dame, who I talked massive shit about in our last podcast about just not being very good at all. And then, bam, I mean, they just went off, man. Duke and Carolina 2 days in a row. Like,
that was wild.
Like, watching the Duke Notre Dame game, I was so mad because I'm like, man, Notre Dame gets there, Carolina's just going to whip them tomorrow. And, I mean, they're playing awesome. There's no way around it. Whether or not that translates, days later, we'll see. But Mike Bray had them going for the ACC tournament, so I could see them doing some damage.
They got hot, man. I thought they were going to blow it against Carolina, but, man, they caught fire. I don't know what Mike Bray said to them, but they were just lit it up.
Yeah, I mean, awesome. They came out after halftime. They already had the lead, and then, bam, it was over. I mean, they were down, and I'm like, well, that's it. I turned it on mute and started reading a book. I was already pissed off that I thought Carolina was going to win anyway.
Don't lie, you don't read.
Oh, yeah, no. Well, it had pictures, but...
okay.
Yeah, they just played great, pulled it out. So there's we got Kentucky, Maryland, West Virginia, Notre Dame, and Kansas. That's it.
Kansas? Yeah.
Who gets Kansas or Notre Dame? Who gets their...
I mean, I feel it hard to pick against Notre Dame right now, which probably means they'll lose to Northeastern, whoever they're playing. Yeah. I mean, they came out winning the ACC tournament, played really well, and then just setting them up to suck.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's just how it goes. I mean, I would assume you'll see... I'm not high on Kansas, but outside of Notre Dame, there's nobody else that can compete on that bottom half there.
Butler, no. What about Texas being in there?
I don't even know if they should have been in the tournament. I don't know. That's a strange one.
So
I feel like Notre Dame's going to end up playing Kansas. Wichita State's kind of sneaky at a 7, but I'd say Notre Dame, Kansas, and then winner plays Kentucky.
See, that's the two. I look at that, and Texas, Indiana, neither one should have been in.
No, absolutely not. Not in the same bracket either.
So you put that, and they're both in the lower half of that region. So that's a easy. See, you could say Kentucky had the easiest road, but 2 of the teams in the bottom half shouldn't even be in the tournament. So
I agree. That's weird.
I hate to go and be the guy that picks a 1-2, but I would say Notre Dame, but I think they got too hot too quick. If they had done it like a week later.
Yeah,
so
I'm with you.
I hate to do it, but Kentucky to the Final Four in that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pick against them right now.
On to the West. Wisconsin is your number 1.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people say it could have been Virginia. I actually thought it could have been Arizona, let alone put Arizona in that bracket. This is, I think, one of the hardest brackets, except for Carolina's walk right there. Arkansas, Wofford, And Harvard, you could just pencil them in the
Yeah, I
Sweet
think they
16.
have a tougher time with Harvard than they will with the winner of the 5-12 Arkansas game. Bullshit number 4, but whatever.
Yeah, if you look at the overall ranks, I think they have Carolina was the 13th out of those 64.
Garbage.
Like, really?
Garbage, man. It's the name. I don't know what else it could be. Yeah, they got the Saturday in the tournament, but
They're playing well right now, but I don't know if they can keep it up.
they're playing well, but they're not playing that well.
No, they don't shoot well enough all hatred aside, they don't shoot well enough for them to make it on. I think they beat Harvard just because they're bigger inside, but I don't think they're strong from the outside. Not strong enough to go deep in this tournament.
They've got one pure shooter in Page. Barry's been heating up a little bit, but Page is the only one you can count on every time. That's
right.
That's a whatever. That's horse. Never mind. So we got Arizona's the best team in that bracket, is it not? Honestly.
Oh yeah, I think so. I think you see Arizona, Wisconsin.
I really think that if you were going to pick your crazy pick of the day, and I'm not picking it, but I think that's the one game that has a 116 that's going to be a good game with Wisconsin and Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, Coastal Carolina is a strong 16 seed. I don't think they're going to win, but I think this is going to be the close one that everybody's going to watch.
Yeah, I think it's a bad matchup. They're going to do well against that boat ride defense, whatever. Like you said, I'll never pick a 16 over a 1, but I think that one could be fun.
Yeah, the bottom half of that bracket's actually fairly tough. Baylor could sneak out. Baylor's going to sneak out of there after beating the Fighting Ryan Harrows of Georgia State.
Well, he didn't play today, did he?
I don't know if he did or not.
I'm pretty sure I saw that he didn't play because of a hammy injury or something like that.
Bubble guts.
Poor kid.
Yeah, VCU, I think, over Ohio State, Arizona. Baylor might give Arizona a run, but I think Arizona's strong.
Yeah, I don't see anyone there that beats Arizona. I'm with you there. So that's our Final Four. Or, from the West, that's our pick from there. And one more from the South, the Duke bracket.
Yeah, can Duke get the easiest road every year?
Okay.
I don't know.
There's no one there that scares me.
No.
Gonzaga, 32-2. No, don't buy it. Not at all.
They'll lose. They're going to lose to Davidson in the second round. I'm calling that one. Utah, everybody's high on Utah. Honestly, I don't know a whole lot about them, but I still don't think them that strong.
You got the Darlings there. Everybody's favorite that they got in, the 11 in UCLA.
Dude, so UCLA and Georgetown in this bracket, they're both terrible. Georgetown's a 4.
They've
Are you
lost.
kidding me? They should have been somewhere
10 games. I would say that 10 games, but then you look at Carolina and they've lost 11, so I can't use that for a standard.
We're 20 and 13. Georgetown's 21 and 10. We're an 8. They're a 4.
Yeah, both of those 4s. You look at it. Okay, Georgetown 21 and 10, Carolina 24 and 11. Look at the top half. Maryland's a 4, 27 and 6. Louisville 24 and 8.
Yeah,
does not compute.
No, it doesn't. Georgetown could lose that first game. Yeah. I think if I'm going upsets, I'm going to pick that 12 and that 13 to win those 2 games right there.
Ooh, big money.
And that puts Duke in the Elite 8.
Yeah, there. That's that. Yeah, I actually tweeted out when I saw the final layout of theirs, and I'm like, basically, Duke can giggle their way to the Final Four.
Right.
It's like you said, the 2 there, I think is. I don't want to say Gonzaga's a joke, but they're not.
They're Gonzaga. They always come in 32 and 2 or 30 and 4, and then lose Sweet 16 or early.
Same thing every year.
Yeah.
So Duke, unfortunately.
So here's my point about this. You can make an argument, and it's not likely, but you can definitely make an argument to have an all ACC Final Four. I
Let's
mean,
see.
the Notre Dame Kentucky one would be the one I would be least confident about.
Right.
I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but there's a legit argument to be had that Notre Dame could make it through, Carolina can make it through, Duke can make it through, and then one of the three in the other bracket can make it through.
Right. One of the three. Louisville. Who were the? Oh yeah.
Virginia, Louisville, and us.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you said, I think Notre Dame's the weak link there.
Yeah.
Of course, I said this last week, so it doesn't matter
That's
what
true.
I'm saying at all. I don't know anything. Yeah. So, I think Kentucky got lucky. If you had put a defensive team in theirs, they would have had problems. I'm not sure that Notre Dame is the defensive team to keep them from getting there.
Right. I wanted to see like that Virginia Kentucky game.
Oh yeah, put that 1 and 2 together.
Yeah. So there's none of those kind of scrappy teams in that side that I want to see play Kentucky. So yeah, I'm with you there, but I'm just saying, all ACC Final Four.
Would you want that?
Well, if I would only want it if we were in it.
Well, yeah. If we're in it, would you want it though?
Absolutely.
Would you?
Yeah.
I tell you though, if Carolina makes it to the Final Four, I might not even watch it.
That's true. I don't want Carolina in the Final Four, so it's kind of a. I mean, can we?
So we'll go 3 or 4.
Yeah, three or four. Can we substitute like Oregon or somebody random in?
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, it could possibly happen. Anything's possible. I would see realistically 2, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Duke's there, and then like I said, I think Virginia's there. The other ones, But Carolina's got the easy road, like you said.
Yeah.
And whether or not Kentucky can... They won the SEC tournament, which kind of makes... that was a test. Like, what are they going to do in tournament conditions?
Right.
Still, that's a whole different type of thing. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see. Go from there. You got... See what you had, Kentucky, and... Who was yours from the West? Arizona, right?
Yeah, Arizona.
Who wins that game?
I'm going with Arizona. I think somebody's going to beat Kentucky.
Fair enough.
And maybe I just want somebody to beat Kentucky.
Well, I think it's want, and I think it's reasonable too. I have Arizona on that side as well. The other side we have, let's see, Duke and who did you have? Virginia?
Yeah, I think so.
So that all ACC semifinal. Who takes it?
So I think you got 1-2, 1-2. I don't want to pick Duke, but probably Duke.
I didn't want to pick them to win the ACC, and it ended up being wrong. But yeah, I think Duke there too. So somehow we came into agreement with our championship game of Arizona and Duke.
That would be wild.
I think Arizona takes them there.
Yep. Yeah. I'm pulling hard for Arizona in that situation.
Yeah. Well, okay, that's your want to, but what do you think is going to happen?
I think Arizona will beat them.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I do too. I think they should have been a 1. Wisconsin should have been the 2. Put that 2 in Kentucky's bracket, but anyway, that's just me wanting Kentucky to lose. But
right.
All right, so the rankings we went through: Carolina at 13, which really kind of pissed me off.
Mm-hmm.
State at 31. Looking at the list, any other surprises there?
None that really stood out to me. UCLA 42. We've already talked about them. I can't believe they're
that doesn't even. Did you see the cop-out excuse explaining it too?
Oh, that was the worst post-selection interview I think I've ever seen from one of those committee members. It was terrible.
Absolutely. It was like he had no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah.
But then again, he's NCAA, so there you go.
It completely makes sense.
The one that I have the biggest issue with, which is because this is an NC State podcast, Carolina as a 13 is a joke. I don't remember their record closing out the season, but it was terrible. Yeah. They're a 13 because of their name. It's that simple.
It really feels like that, that's for sure.
At 31 is probably reasonable for us, yeah?
I think it's fair. I don't who's ahead of us? VCU, Oregon, Iowa. I mean, I could see us anywhere between 31 and 21, to be honest. I think anywhere from SMU to us, we could fall in that range. I'd feel okay with.
And Georgetown at 16.
That's terrible. They're playing terrible right now. Yeah.
So, do you have anything else tournament-wise to discuss before I go into a tangent that I've got planned?
Well, I can lead you into this tangent with this appearance. Mark Gottfried gets a $126,000 bonus for bringing NC State to the tournament.
And it's well-deserved, don't you think?
Absolutely, it's well-deserved.
So, all right, listeners, we're going to have a little come-to-Jesus talk with Dustin here. Mark Gottfried has been at NC State 4 years. In those 4 years, we've gone to the NCAA tournament 4 years. I saw a little thing on Pac Pride tweeted out earlier that in the 20 years before Gottfried got here, we made the tournament 5 times. So 5 of 20 to 4 for 4. Now, I want everyone to listen really close. If you're one of those people that have been hating Gottfried, calling for Gottfried's job, here's the situation. You don't know shit, and you need to get right the hell out of here with that. We are blessed to have what we have. You can say, oh, we should be winning titles and all that. 5 of 20 to 4 of 4? Don't even start with that crap. Am I wrong?
No, you're not at all wrong. There's been a lot of people that, and we talked about it some on the other podcast after, I forgot what game it was we lost. It was Boston College. And, it was kind of everybody's bubbling frustration, and you start hearing random names, and people unhappy with what Gottfried's doing. And I think it's ridiculous, considering we're playing one senior. He's had 4 different teams. He's been in the tournament 4 times in a row. He lost the ACC Player of the Year and came back with a higher seed. I mean, we were on the bubble last year with TJ Warren. You lose TJ Warren and now you're an 8 seed. I mean, that's just a fantastic coaching job. In February, I saw the little preview about us. In February, State was on the bubble. I mean, they were and they're probably on the wrong side of the bubble. Then they go to Louisville and just handle Louisville, and then go to Carolina and handle Carolina. That puts us in. And it was a fantastic coaching job. You can't say anything else about it. Those are 2 huge road wins that I don't know.
This is the best job he's done this year. Say what you want. We lost some games. That Boston College game. Oh, well, boo-hoo. Guess what? We're still in the tournament. We're still an 8 seed. They still closed out strong. Going in before the season, looking at the roster, how many people thought we were in the tournament?
None. I mean, we were picked 12th in the ACC.
Like, we shouldn't even be here. Yet, halfway through the season, we're complaining because we're doing better than we should be, but it's still not good enough. Go away. Just stop.
Yeah. And it's not even like a typical NC State, fire Herb Sendek campaign or whatever. The fans going on a jihad. It's more subtle, under the radar kind of like jabs at him. And I'm just like, enough of that crap. The guy's just winning.
Yeah. And I don't want anyone out there to think that I'm speaking to you individually. I'm not, because there are a ton of people who have been just blasting him.
Yeah.
And it has pissed me off all season. And I didn't really want to go off until now when I can say, haha, I was right. But this is kind of the thing where, fire Doran, guess what? We won a bowl game. We're a psycho fan base.
They just need to pay attention to us, I guess.
Exactly. I mean, we're preaching the truth over here, and you people aren't even listening.
That's right.
So,
our 200 listeners are getting the good stuff.
Hey, if we're up to 200, I mean, you 200 you better love this country because you're welcome.
We've arrived.
Yeah. Anyway, I was planning as soon as I saw our seating coming out. I was getting angry for no reason, but this was the reason. So that's all I have.
Yeah, that's it. I did retweet something from our Twitter account with a picture of Archie Miller's gorgeous wife.
Oh, that's the creepiest moan you'll ever hear on a podcast, but you just got it from me. So, yeah, smoking hot.
Yeah.
If there is a reason to fire Gottfried, it's to bring her back. So that's all I got. That's the only reason I know of.
So speaking of Gottfried, there's Alabama just fired Anthony Grant, and so all of a sudden, the natural reaction, people say, well, are they interested in Mark Gottfried? Alabama is not going to go after Mark Gottfried, people. So just put that one to rest.
Nor would he go back to Alabama.
No. The only concern we'll have of losing Gottfried is if by some chance we fire him, or it's only a matter of time before UCLA fires Steve Alford, because he's terrible. He's been terrible everywhere he goes. And then they come back after him like they did a few years ago. That's the only chance right now. He's not going.
That's the only job out there. That's the only job out there that makes me think, oh, well, we better worry. I can't see him going anywhere else.
Yeah. Agreed.
Alabama fired him to start with. I know he went there, but they fired him. And two, it's a bottom-tier SEC school, and he's 4 years running in the ACC in the tournament. So there's no worry about that at all.
Yep.
So, sorry, guys. I think you're going to be stuck with a coach that gets you to the tournament every year for a while. It's a rough life. It sucks. Woe is us and all that shit. But that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So.
That's all I got. Nothing else. Hopefully somebody will call and give us some Final Four predictions we can throw in there. But if not, this will be blank space.
Yeah, there we go. We'll have to get them quick because I'm editing this right after. All right, but yeah, that's it for me, and I think Evan's done.
Yeah, I'm done. Go Pack. Take it to him.
So we'll get something out to you sometime in the next week, I imagine. Go Pack.
Go Pack.